stopped over at my dad's shop and picked up the Woodward Fab bead roller that's sitting right here. Got a couple different die sets for that. This is for making custom firewall and floor patches. Last episode I said I might buy a front section. I think what I want to do is just make custom ones. There's enough good metal on this truck where I can tie into it, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. But in order to get to the floor, we've got to get the cage out of here. Get the cage out of there, we got to take the shifter out, we've got to take the seats out, the harnesses, all that stuff, and then we can start tearing on the floor. Before we finished doing anything to the truck, I went to my dad's shop and picked up the bead roller. He's had this Woodward Fab bead roller for a really long time. He's got a couple die sets for it, and we're going to use that to make the floor pan and the firewall for my C10. So I figured I might as well go get it, that way we can finish that up in this video. He's got the crank on here. That's how these bead rollers come unless you order them with an electronic motor. It's just really hard to hold a sheet of metal and run the bead roller and crank it all at the same time. It almost works better if you have two people. What Woodward Fab has done is made an electric motor that bolts onto any of their bead rollers, so if you buy it cheaper, so you can just do things without having to spend the extra money on the motor, you can make the upgrade later. A lot of their products are like that, and it's a super good thing. They're always one-upping themselves and making things bolt on to make it easier for you. So I went down and picked up an electric motor. Woodward Fab is a huge help here. They're very local to us. They're about a half hour away, so I'm able to drive right down to the warehouse and pick up whatever I need. While I was there, I've had a lot of inquiries about doing roll cages. I'm doing the roll cage in my truck. We got to do the roll cage in my mom's truck as well. So I went ahead and picked up this tubing notcher. I have one that's just like a Harbor Freight one, but if I'm going to be doing a lot of work, I needed something that's pretty serious. The one from Harbor Freight, it does the job, but man, I've shimmed it and done everything I can to get that hole saw to cut directly through the center of the tube, and it's always offset a little bit, and that's just something that drives me nuts. So I will unpackage these things and show you what we got going on. This is a tubing notcher here. This is a product that Woodward Fab makes as well. It's like a vegetable oil almost, so it's not a nasty oil-based thing that you use for cutting fluid. So what's nice about this and using it for the tubing notcher is they were explaining to me that you can put it right on the hole saw and it'll stay right on the hole saw because it's pretty tacky. Then all you have to do when you're done making that notch on your pipe, instead of sitting there and cleaning it off with whatever you use to clean off oil or cutting fluid, all you got to do is wipe this off with a rag and you can weld right to it. This doesn't affect your weld. So that is an awesome product there. I'm excited to use that, and I'll show you how that works later on in the video. Enough of the boring talking. Let's get this thing opened up and check it out. I'm excited about this tubing notcher. Having the right tool for the job definitely helps things go a lot quicker, a lot easier. Picture of it there. Pull all these pieces out of the bag here. With the Harbor Freight style one, it definitely wobbles as well when you're cutting. So this one's got needle bearings on the inside of the block so that it keeps it super stable and a lot more effortless when you're running your drill. All right. I am actually going to pull the instructions out to make sure that I assemble this right. Handy dandy things. If you're anything like me, I like to not read the instructions and then mess it up and waste a bunch of time. So I might as well just do this right the first time. I'm going to assemble this thing and show you guys what it looks like when it's done. Alright, I'm going to hold the camera and kind of show you guys. This is super nice. Awesome glide to that, in and out. It spins freely. This is the clamp side here. So you got your wing nut over there. Clamp your tubing in here. This is so that you can, they've got 2 bolt holes in here so you can mount it up to where you can bolt it down, or you can just use a clamp on there, which that way then it's a little bit more portable. So then you come up here, you can see it's got all the degree markings in it. It's a little hard to see on my camera, but they're there and they line up with the flat side of this block here. A lot easier to, you know, set your degree with that versus here's my old tubing notcher. It'd come in vertically, which was a pain in the butt. This will be nice because you can stand next to it instead of reach over top of it. It's got a distance between there, which, I mean, you can put a straight edge across to get it perfect, but I don't think those are even perfect. This is just like a $45 tubing notcher that you can get at Harbor Freight, but this is the bad man pajama here. So big shout out to Woodward Fab on this. I'm excited to try it out when we start building the roll cage. Let's look at this next shiny new toy here. This is the 110 volt motor for the bead roller. This is going to make things a lot easier for us here. Look at that, some more instructions. Oh yeah, this is gonna be sweet. Probably heavy, but we'll get it out of here. Woodward Fab bead roller motor here with the foot pedal, and then this is how you adjust your direction up here with a little switch. Center's off, left, right, or forward or back, whatever. I have put one of these on a different bead roller before, not at my shop, at someone else's, and it does work very well. So we're gonna go ahead, get this bolted up to my dad's bead roller here, get rid of that crank because that thing is a pain in the butt, and yeah, we'll get this thing mounted up to the table here. That's what I've got this big ugly mount laying around for. My dad had gave me one of these old weld tables we had, and we like to use the receivers so that we can weld them to the side of a bench, and then we make plates for our angle or for our grinders, bench grinders, like he's got here. His shop's all equipped that way, and I'm working on doing the same here. So you can see this bead roller's got the I think that's just a 2-inch or 2x2 piece of square stock there that'll slide right into this 2-inch receiver. And then we'll just weld it to the side of the table so that we can put it there, and then it's got a solid base and the thing ain't trying to tip over when we're bead rolling things. We've got the bead roller plugged in and the foot pedal is attached. We've got our switch here. Center is off. This is forward and reverse. So you just flip the switch, put your foot on the pedal, and roll away. So you can see how nice that is. Nice consistent speed instead of a hand crank. That way you can move the pedal over here and you can run your sheet one hand or with both your hands, but one person. You don't have to have somebody over there cranking it. So this is going to be a huge upgrade. Now that we've got that done, let's move on to the truck and see what we can cut out. The first sheet metal work that I'm planning on doing is actually going to be the firewall here. We're going to have to pull all these wires through. Like I said in previous episodes, I was working with a wiring company hoping to get a sponsorship. Things didn't quite work out, so we're going a different avenue. I've been looking at a couple harnesses online that I'm going to make my own. As you can see, everything under here is a stock fuse panel with the original bus fuses. They're tapped into. We got a cluster of wires over there, just not the way that I want this truck to be. So we're going to go ahead and strip all the wiring out of this, and then we can talk about that firewall. what a mess we've created here in Loud and Ugly Garage. We have the C10 completely stripped. It's pretty much just a bare cab now with glass in it. I will be taking the column out because I'm going to re-angle that, remount it to the roll bar because it is mounted to the original steering column bracket under the dash. So we're going to do things right this time. The roll cage is cut out. It's sitting on the floor. That's going to the scrap pile. It's black seam pipe, so it's not worthy of any drag racing. After I hit the wall, I was like, you know what, it's time to actually put some work into the cage, get this set up, possibly run faster in the future. I have different plans as far as an engine one day, so who knows, you know how it goes working on stuff, plans change all the time. But the cab is stripped, the wiring is out, we can finally start cutting into these floorboards. Possibly be doing some new outer rockers just because these are so bad that they're not even connected to the floor anymore. And the cab actually gets a lot of rigidity in this area out of your rocker panel, so it's kind of an important piece. I want to make sure that this thing is solid and we don't have it sagging anymore. Pretty happy with how much we got done. If you work on things, you know, you kind of got to do it in segments or otherwise you'll drive yourself crazy. So got the cage cut out, got the wiring stripped. We got the tools set up to do this with a new tubing notcher from Woodward Fab, and then we got that new bead roller. Well, not new, it's my dad's bead roller that we bought the electric motor for. So big shout out to the guys at Woodward Fab for hooking us up with a good deal on all that stuff. And we will start on doing some more here in a near episode. Next episode I will be finishing the spray foam in here, announcing that sponsor as well, because I've got it sitting right over here, a bunch of spray foam that is here and ready to go in. So we need to get that done so we can stay warm out here. But thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.